we have a system. The source is coming from the compressor, then entering the air service unit with a gauge. Then when you turn it on, the output from the filter gets into the input of the valve. Then we now have two outputs that enters into the cylinder.
Okay. We have the electrical diagram, which we have solenoid, two solenoid, we have limit switch, and we have a sensor. The sensor is an input with the two limit switch, while our output that activates the actuator is the solenoid. So the two limit switch is connected to the input of the PLC and the sensor, while the two solenoid which activate the actuator is connected on the output part of the PLC.
So now, as we're looking at this program, this is the PLC in which we have to know the signal coming from our system. First of all, how do we do the system? We first label our sensors, our limit switch, as an X1 and X2. And in our program, we can name it as, depending on the number you are trying to assign to it. Like you can assign 32.5, 32.6, depending on what is recorded in your portal. Like this talks about the output, and the output is being connected down to the solenoid. Now, the purpose of the solenoid is to activate the valve to and fro. We label our solenoid, we also label our limit switch, and also label our sensor. We also label our sensor based on what you want to do. We can understand that our sensor and our sensor and our solenoid, they are in a AND relationship. They are AND relationship, meaning the flux between them are interconnected in a feedback effect. But this limit switch has no relationship with the stop switch. The limit switch and the stop switch are not in any relationship. But the flag from the first sensor will be taken down to the second sensor, which activates back the third sensor.
What we have here is a kind of automatic system, and what we did, we are actually actually sending signal to the actuator to move to and fro in this whole process. And we are using our control system here, which all inputs are connected, and the inputs with that of their signals, with the received signals of the inputs is being sent to our output device, which are the solenoids, and our right solenoid. Our right solenoid that powers the toe, and our left solenoid that returns it back, as in the to and fro movement, with the aid of air as our pneumatic. The program, the program will use a simulator to first of all carry out in our computer, will simulate it to know that what we are doing is actually correct before we transfer the program into our PLC, and the whole process will be stored, how it operates. So when we powered the whole system, it came up, finally activated. It was activated, and we achieved our to and fro movement in the linear actuator.
Yeah, so to crown everything off, we have to test how actually the design works,
yes,
according to the purpose on which it was built. So the air supply, we turn it on. We activate the limit switch. So as you can see,
wow, it's reciprocating.
Yes.
To and fro. Yes. So in this way we can stopped now, so we can still activate it again. That is turn it
Hold on.
through the
Stop
limit
it and
switch.
activate it again.
There's one thing we should need to understand that the stop button is
Stop it and activate it again.
So we can stop it by pressing the stop button. So to activate it again, we activate through the limit switch. The limit switch is sensitive. So as you can see, it's moving to and fro. So our whole aim of design is achieved.
and the stop button is usually stopped because one, without us present, so that it is in a closed relationship, it's in a closed loop system.
Yeah.
So the only way you can make this stop button work is that when you activate it manually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my engineer, what can you say about the limit switch and the solenoid going off and on?
The purpose of this limit switch is to control the solenoid that sends, with the aid of the air, it powers it and it activates it to move forward. Then with the aid of a second switch, which is the switch 2, it now sends signal again as an output to the second solenoid and activates it, and it goes back, returns to its normal position.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow.